wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Hey, morning, everybody. Happy birthday, Hove. We are the Breakfast Club. And let's get in some front page news. Look at Morgan holding up the rock sign. Okay, Morgan.
Yeah, I had to separate it just a little bit from Delta friends. You know what I'm saying?
What the hell you see Morgan at?
She's on the screen.
Well,
She's on my screen.
her computer.
Okay.
I'm a him.
I'm sorry. She on his computer.
Allegedly.
Don't worry about what I
You would
identify
date him
as.
until January 20th. After January 20th, you better figure it out.
Listen,
What's up,
'cause
Morgan?
I sure can't see y'all. Yes, please get it together. Nah, how y'all doing? Y'all good? Okay.
Yes, girl.
Good. All right, well, let's get into it. So President Biden is now officially the first sitting president to visit Angola, and he said he is committed to supporting the nation. Now, his visit comes as part of an effort to help build Angola's infrastructure and help the U.S. work with the country to get critical minerals used in electric batteries. Now, the U.S. is also supporting a railway project that will export those minerals from Central Africa to an Angolan port. Let's hear from President Biden, who spoke in Angola yesterday.
The United States is all in Angola. We've already, my administration alone, has invested over $3 billion in Angola thus far. The future of the world is here in Africa, in Angola.
So Biden made his comments at the National Museum of Slavery and acknowledged Angolans' history in the United States. Now, historians say Angolans accounted for many of the enslaved Africans shipped to the U.S. and some of the first to arrive in Virginia in the early 1600s. Now, Biden said it's the nation's duty to face its history, including the tough parts. He also said the U.S. is all in on Angola's or Africa's future, echoing the comments he made in 2022 when he promised to invest millions in Africa. The White House said he has delivered on that promise by investing billions over the time that he has been in office. He went on to say that he sees the bonds between the two countries and across sectors like clean energy, healthcare, and sports.
President Biden ain't fooling nobody. He looking for someplace to live before Trump gets in office. Okay, Biden and his family like, we got to get out of Delaware before Trump puts us in prison.
Yeah, you know, he's talking all the things he's going to do for Angola, but he only got about a month left. What is he going to do?
Yeah.
Well, he gave him $1 billion.
Right, and I was looking at those the formalities in that ceremony yesterday. Like, I wonder how the Angolans feel knowing that all of this is going to shift within a matter of months. So,
He's looking for another place to stay. All right, Trump gonna lock him and the family up. All right.
And where we coming up with all this money? We just be giving money to everybody.
Well, speaking of which, the Senate, the showdowns are going. They're looming over the president-elect's appointees, Trump's appointees. Now, veteran and Fox personality Pete Hegseth, he met with senators who will vote on whether he should become the defense secretary. Now, he's being accused of having alarming drinking habits while working at Fox News. Now, 10 current and former Fox employees spoke with NBC News and said that Hegseth the way he drinks is concerning to them. Now, 2 people said that on more than a dozen occasions he smelled like alcohol right before going on air and would complain about hangovers regularly. Now, one source said they smell alcohol on him as recently as last month. Of course, it's not illegal to drink, but you probably shouldn't be drunk necessarily at work. Now, the New Yorker recently detailed concerns about his drinking at 2 jobs previously before he was at Fox. Now, his legal team is, of course, denying those allegations. Meanwhile, Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville, he says he's 100% behind Hegseth, of course, and insists there's nothing to those allegations. Let's hear from Senator Tuberville.
He's going to be for the people that actually do the fighting, not for the people that plan the fighting. There's not going to be anything to this at the end of the day.
So,
yeah, that's one I don't think is going to happen. I can see him withdrawing any day now, just because of all of the things that they're pulling out about him. And that's the thing about politics, right? Like, once you get involved in politics, they start pulling out every allegation, every single thing that you've ever been accused of, right. And it's just like, how much do you want out there? Even if it's not true, how much do you want out there personally? And then I think I read yesterday that they was talking about Ron DeSantis for the job.
Possibly, yeah. That's what they were saying.
When you start hearing other names mentioned, he's probably going to end up withdrawing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, speaking of withdrawing President-elect Trump's to run for the Drug Enforcement Administration, I'm like, I just was talking about you yesterday, dude. He is withdrawing his nomination. Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister says in a post on X that as the gravity of the job sets in, he's decided to focus on continuing his work locally in Florida. Now, Trump originally selected Chronister for the job just Saturday. The man didn't make it past anyways, but yeah, so I'm not gonna get too much into that. They're starting to step down here and step up in other places. I'm working.
Well, even for him, it's like they started pulling out things about him. So
Right.
Yeah, that's anybody who joins politics. You know, you got to have a clean slate when it comes to that politics. Because if you have any dirt, it's going to come out.
Yeah, it's going to come out. You don't have to have a clean slate, but the dirt is going to come out.
It's going to come out.
Yeah.
And you definitely got to know how to handle it.
And if there is no dirt, they're going to make up something.
That's right.
That's
right.
Absolutely. All right, we'll talk more at 7 a.m. We'll take things home to New York and bring things home as well for you, Jess, in Baltimore. We've got some news.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Jess Hilarious, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Let's get back in some front page news. Good morning, Morgan.
Good morning. Let's take things home to Baltimore for Jess. So, Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott, who was recently on the show, right? Mm-hmm. He is being sworn in, or he was sworn in for his second term in office as the Baltimore mayor. Now, he's spoken. Congratulations to him. He spoke in a ceremony that took place at the Murphy Fine Arts Center on the campus of HBCU Morgan State University. That's my alma mater, which, side note, recently celebrated a milestone of its own as the third largest HBCU in the country. Now, Maryland Governor Wes Moore was among those who spoke at the ceremony, in addition to Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott. Let's hear more from them from that inauguration.
And I say, it's easy to celebrate Mayor Scott and talk about the things that have happened since he's become the mayor. It's easy to talk about the work that has happened in Baltimore since he's become the mayor to now bring crime to historic lows within the city of Baltimore, violent crime, non-fatal shootings. And let's be clear, that doesn't happen by accident. That happens because of intentionality.
We've invested more in our young people than ever before, opening rec centers, expanding programs like Youth Works, Be More this summer, and our attendance challenge. Rather than balancing our budgets on the backs of our kids like the city has done in the past, we're building up through hope and opportunity at a chance at experience.
Yep, I love to see it. Now, Scott, of course, he vowed to continue working for the people of Baltimore, and he is the first Baltimore mayor to win re-election, to have 2 terms since 2004. So that says something.
Salute to Mayor Brandon Scott, man. Salute to that brother.
Absolutely.
Love to see it. Hey, Maryland, stand up. Hey. All right. Now, meanwhile, in California, lawmakers met for a special session in Sacramento on Monday at Governor Gavin Newsom's request to, quote, Trump-proof California. Now, Northern California Republican Senator Roger Nilo says the whole thing was silly. Let's hear more from him.
We didn't do anything. They're supposedly drafting bills now that we will consider. They suspended the special session, and they'll probably gavel us back into it when we officially convene the first week of January. It's all messaging, and frankly, in my opinion, it's all kind of silly. It really is in support of Governor Newsom's run for president in 2028. The Department of Justice doesn't need a special fund. They are funded by the general fund to fund cases as they see come up. So the whole thing is really just theater.
Yeah, I do wonder what that means, the Trump-proof a state. Like, how do you Trump-proof a state in America? Like, what happens when you need the president of the United States of America for something? You know what I mean? Like, I don't quite understand what that means.
Yeah, your state's gonna be last when you need something.
Maybe I just need to hear it. Maybe I need to hear the details. But what happens when you need the president for something? Like, I don't get it.
And why would you say Trump-proof? Like, it seems like you're just going against yourself.
Like, at least make it about if there's policies that you don't like that Trump may enact, make it about that. Don't make it about the person.
Well, that's essentially what it is about. So Newsom is asking the California legislature for $25 million to fund possible litigation if the Trump administration enacts rules that impact California policies. So, for example, you know how in some states you've got the book bans. Well, if you're dealing with that type of thing, basically those type of situations, if the state if on the state level they say, hey, we want these books, but on the federal level they say, these books are banned, then I guess that's where you get the you use those funds to start litigation. But then again, that's the whole thing for me too. Like, who's litigating this president?
Yeah, I'm with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm with that. But once again, make it about the policies, because when you say things like Trump-proof, you're going to end up looking like a hypocrite when, you need the president for something and you all in his face smiling and cheesing the same way, President Biden was after they called him a threat to democracy and all of these other things. And then he was like, welcome back, when it came time for the White House, when he came. So it's like, cut it out.
Well, speaking of smiling in the president's face, let's go ahead and bring things home to New York. New York City Mayor Eric Adams is confirming he will cooperate with ICE under certain circumstances to deport illegal immigrants. Now, he's calling for a sit-down with Trump's border czar, Tom Homan. Let's hear more from New York City Mayor Eric Adams on ICE.
I'm not going to be warring with this administration. I'm going to be working with this administration. Those who are here committing crimes, robberies, shooting at police officers, raping innocent people, have been a harm to our country. I want to sit down and hear the plan on how we're going to address them.
So the mayor, who is a Democrat, also said he wants to know what President-elect Trump has in mind when he's talking about these mass deportations. He's also noted, of course, as you heard in the audio, that he's not going to be warring with this administration, but he will be working with them. What do you think that looks like?
I think that language is so strange to me. Well, two things. Yes, I guess that goes back to what we're talking about with Gavin Newsom. Like, he is the president of the United States of America. Correct. That is the administration. So you do have to work with the president. That is common sense to me. But also the language that he's using when he says he'll cooperate with ICE, isn't that the whole point? Like, isn't that what ICE is for? Like, if you're an illegal immigrant and you out here committing crimes, isn't that the whole point of ICE?
Yes.
So what does he mean he's going to work with ICE under certain circumstances? You mean that he's going to do his job and allow ICE to do their job?
Well, let's not forget that New York City is a sanctuary city. So there have been, that creates some gray lines or some gray areas when it comes to ICE and how ICE is.
But you're not protecting criminals. Like,
absolutely.
Even if you're a sanctuary city, you're not protecting criminals.
That's true. I mean, but then again, how do you go through those processes to find out? So that's the part. I think that the mayor is looking to figure out what does that look like. Some of the way that ICE rolls up on people, it's not necessarily, but then again, let me just go ahead and not get too much into that. On a positive note, do we have time for one more story?
Yes.
Okay, on a positive note, out of New York City, the city is expanding its program that connects students to career opportunities. Now, New York Mayor Eric Adams announced the Future Ready New York City Mentorship Career Program that is starting in about 36 additional schools, bringing the total to 135 schools. The school's chancellor, Melissa Aviles Ramos, says 15,000 students now have access to quality jobs and careers. Let's hear more from them regarding the Future Ready program.
Through Future Ready NYC, we're building a pipeline to employment, a pipeline to jobs, a pipeline to possibilities.
Through rigorous coursework, job certifications, on-the-job experience, early college credit, and one-on-one advising to create strong post-secondary plans.
So there are also 2 new career sector pathways being introduced in this program called heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, and decarbonization, as well as human and social services. Now, the mentorship career program now connects about 15,000 students, of course, to coursework, real job credentials, and paid work to put students on a pathway to careers. So shout out to New York City for doing that. And I would love to hear from somebody who actually, participates in these types of programs. So you guys can hit me up. That's your front page news. I'm Morgan Wood. Follow me on social at Morgan Media. And for more news coverage, follow us at Black Information Network. Download the free iHeartRadio app and visit us at BINnews.com. Thank y'all. Have a good day.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.